Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
Hey Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Sure, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, not a problem. And of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album from Magic Dance, New Eyes, which is coming out December 7th through Frontiers Music. I've gotten the chance to be able to check this album out over the last week and a half or so, and I just really love what you guys do. I mean, I've gone back and checked the previous material as well, but I really love what's going on here with New Eyes. I love the variation that's going on there, the great throwbacks, and the great songwriting that you guys are all capable of.
Awesome, man. Really appreciate it. This record, really happy about it, and like you said, it came out sort of a more twists and turns, this one, I think, which is good.
And with that said, how did the songwriting process begin for this new album?
Usually, it starts in my bedroom. Magic Dance started as a solo project, I would say 5 or 6 years ago, and been writing usually just by myself, really. And then slowly but surely, actually around the time I started doing New Eyes, I wanted to start playing live, so I formed a band, and so they had some collaboration going on actually with this album, and most of the songs still happen in the bedroom, just working on the computer, and then I bring it to the guys and we work on it and make edits and stuff.
So with that, how much did the band that is now a part of Magic Dance, how much did they influence the new album?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I both, I guess, are in a transition phase, sort of, from going out of, a solo project where it was just me making all the creative decisions, everything down the line, to it being more of like a collaborative thing. Actually, I already started writing a new album, and the guys have started submitting songs to me, which is cool. So it's not like all on my shoulders, which is a good thing. I think it's all a good thing.
Oh yeah, and that's a great feeling when you're able to get the right group of musicians together that are leaning towards the same goal, trying to create the best music possible, and when you are able to share either the creative freedoms or other aspects of the band, or just getting the jam with other musicians, that's got to be a great feeling.
Totally. And some of the guys in the bands are a big fan of the 80s. Actually, one of our favorite topics at rehearsal is what rock bands survived the 80s to the 90s. That's one of our favorite topics, so I'm in like company.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but again, just like going throughout the entire album, it's so great to see everything that came about with this album. I mean, the production just sounds so perfect for the songs that are being written. I mean, it is just a great throwback to that 80s style, but still sounding brand new and very fresh as well, which is a hard thing to do, to show tribute to an era that you love, but make it sound original, and I think you guys have done that.
Cool. Yeah, I want to say that we, or myself when I started, and I think continue, is that we're taking that aesthetic, that 80s rock, pop rock sort of aesthetic, as sort of like the gift wrapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all the sonic aesthetics are there, but I like to think that I'm not completely copying it. I'm just using it as sort of a like I said, a sort of gift wrapping, and just putting my own experiences, my own feelings, everything, real passion, I would hope to think, is going into the music.
Yeah, and I can absolutely hear that. I mean, throughout the lyrics, throughout the production, the songwriting, everything that's on there. I mean, yeah, I that's a great way to describe it. It's like a gift wrapping of the 80s, but it's also yourself as well.
Exactly. It's a personal journal as much as it is my love of the 80s, love of the melodies they had there, the production, everything.
So with that, you also did mention that you're already working on the next album as well, with the rest of the band starting to contribute more. How does that compare to what's being done here with New Eyes?
It's in such a beginning stage that I don't know if I could say much. But I would say, like, the guys now are like sending me riff ideas and stuff like that, and I'm gonna add my lyrics and vocals to them. And I'm just in general trying different things, trying different chord progressions, trying different looking at different influences, trying different production styles, and just continue to get inspired by the music I'm listening to, and hopefully keep progressing and make another good album. I hope so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and again, just going back with New Eyes, I mean, I love the variation that's going on there throughout it as well. I mean, whether it's a great power ballad that's going on there, whether it's a great hard rock and song that's going on there, I mean, it's got a little something for everybody, and I think that's a great thing to be able to accomplish on an album.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the way it ended up, sort of, like you said, varied, kind of eclectic in mood. I don't know if that was my intention going in. I just try to write the best songs that I can and what I'm feeling at the moment. And this one ended up being, if you compare it to my last one, Vanishings, which is more like a straightforward mood down the whole line, this one just ended up a little more varied, more twists and turns, and I'm really happy that it did, actually, because I think it makes it more interesting.
Oh, definitely. So when it came to that, I mean, how hard of a decision was it deciding what songs were going to be made as singles and videos for this album?
Yeah, that's tough. I think I wanted to do, what we led off with New Eyes was the song When Nothing's Real, which I thought was sort of a bridge between Vanishings and this new record. It kind of sounded like it would have been something that would come from Vanishings, and I didn't want to like completely isolate my old fan base or anything like that by coming straight out with something like another song released, Never Go Back, which is more a pop song. So we started with When Nothing's Real, and then went to These Four Walls, which was sort of, I guess, more walking down that bridge, a little bit less like Vanishings, and then we get to Never Go Back, which is, I wouldn't say a marker of the whole album, but it's probably the most poppy one we have on the whole record. So it made sense to do the music video and release it as a single.
Yeah, and I really love the aesthetics of everything on there, from the visual 80s productions to like all the little Easter eggs, the more that you look at the background, what's going on with the video, what you guys are wearing. I mean, it fits so perfectly with the song.
Yeah, it turned out really, really well. We were really happy with the way it turned out. The people that shot the video, they had a really strong vision, actually. Like all those effects and everything like that was all them. Like, I didn't suggest anything, and nobody in the band had any ideas. We just, they knew we were an 80s sort of influenced band, and they put all these visuals in, which made it, I think, like, because our budget wasn't huge, so we could only do just sort of what they call a live performance music video just on the stage, but they made it seem so much more interesting and cool than it could have been, so we were super happy when it was finally finished.
Yeah, I mean, between that and the lyric videos that are going on between this album, I mean, it's great to see all these different kind of visual representations of what the band can do.
Yeah, the lyric video too was just like, actually with that one I think I showed the guy some references, but yeah, it's just like something that would fit within our aesthetic, that would sort of visually represent us as obviously a super 80s influenced band, and just like bring it to life.
And with that as well, I mean, for some people, before they even get to check out the band, they'll be able to check out the album cover to see if it's going to be in their style or not. And I really love what's going on with the album cover. It's just that great 80s 3D atmosphere that's going on there. I mean, where did the idea come from to get an artwork like that?
That was an idea from the artist that I've been working with since a couple of releases back, since actually anyone's familiar with my past discography, this EP called Kissing. This guy Nick Taylor, he's just an amazing artist. I can't even remember how I found him. It was like on a message board or something like that. I found him. I just had a good feeling I saw some of his work, and I just had a good feeling, and I just reached out to him. And he's really been the one that's like, I can't remember. I don't even know if I ever had a solid idea for him. He would just come up with these ideas, and they'd just be so on point each time, and they just represent the album so perfectly that even same thing with New Eyes. It just represented the album, I think, because it's almost like a transition, because he's walking on the road and there's the city. It's almost like a transition to almost a new sound. That's right. We also named it New Eyes.
Yeah, and that's such a great way to look at it too. I mean, especially when you look at the transition from Vanishings to New Eyes. I mean, I'm very excited to see what's going to be going on with the next album as well. I mean, if there's this much variation and so many open doors of what could be with this band, I'm excited to see where things are going to be going on in the future.
Yeah, thanks, man. All we can do is just continue to all I can do is just continue to write the best songs I can and get the feedback from the band and continue to stay inspired and always on the search for new music to be inspired from, or new experiences, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we can do the same thing we did on New Eyes and deliver another record we're super proud of.
Oh, definitely. So with that, I mean, with the album just coming out in a couple weeks now, what has been the reception that you've heard for the album so far?
It's been pretty good. I gotta say, it's been pretty good. The reception has been positive, I think, almost completely. I haven't seen anything too negative. So we're really happy because we knew it was sort of, it wasn't going to sound exactly like Vanishings. And I was sort of worried for what people how are they going to react? How are the old fans going to react? But I think it's been really positive, and I'm super happy about that. Super relieved.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to hear that as well. I mean, especially when you get to continue that artistic freedom that you want to be able to have with the band and, try some new ideas that, some of the older fans may not even think that the band would be going towards, but once you pull that off and the fans are receptive to what you're doing, I mean, that's got to be a great feeling.
Definitely. There's always that, I think, like the give and take about, what you want to do. You want to maintain your artistic freedom. You want to write the music that you're inspired by at the time, but you know that you have a fan base and they're expecting something, and there's always that give and take. But I'm happy that they're kind of seeming to go on the journey with us, which is cool.
Oh, definitely. So after this, I mean, when the album does come out December 7th through Frontiers Music, what's going to be coming up next for the band?
Probably playing more live shows. Hopefully, we're in the New York City area, so we've been kind of getting our feet wet, playing local. Probably continue to play locally, and then hopefully get on some of the festivals that are over in Europe maybe next year.
Oh, that'd be such a great thing to be able to see that as well. I mean, it's great that you're able to do the local shows, but, being able to get into the festival circuit in Europe and being able to get that sound out there, I mean, I could just imagine that the reception would be enormous for you guys.
Totally. Like, Europe is I'm sure is the biggest area for the melodic rock AOR scene. New York City, not so much. In fact, the distortion guitar has kind of gone extinct in the area. But we've been drawing some people, and we've been having a good time just getting our feet wet, like I said, and just trying to get experience and get to that next level.
And what was it like for you the first time that you were finally able to get Magic Dance onto the stage and being able to play some live shows?
It was the first time to be honest, I was kind of nervous because I was always a I'm a studio guy. I'm a guy who stays in the bedroom, writes songs, maybe releases them online, talks to a few people online, but I never really played live. So that first time was a little nervous. But now we're 4 shows in, and it's almost like second nature. I love it now, and I can't wait to play again. It was that much of a change.
Yeah, and I can just imagine that the more that you guys are able to do these live shows and everything, just the shows will just keep getting bigger and better. I mean, just like what you're capable of on the record. I mean, it would be so great to be able to hear that in a live setting.
Definitely, and I was lucky enough to find some guys that were super talented, and we're just continuing to rehearse, continuing to get a little tighter and tighter and tighter, and hopefully just watch it grow from the live setting.
And with that, I mean, how hard was it to be able to find the right guys to be able to make Magic Dance a live band?
Yeah, theoretically, it should have been way more tough than it was. I had 2 friends who were always we were always starting projects and bands together that were on board immediately because they love performing, they love just being in a band, they love the whole thing. So I had a rhythm guitarist and a bassist already, those 2 guys, Kevin and Mike. And the other 2 guys we found on Craigslist. I put an ad out, and I was lucky enough, I want to say we found our lead guitarist, Jack, maybe a month after I put an ad. And then a couple months after that, our drummer, Kevin McAdams. And I couldn't ask for, better guys to find, because I've had experiences on Craigslist of just got, people that not who you want to work with in one aspect or another. So we just got super lucky. That's all I can say. We got super lucky.
Yeah, and again, it's so great to hear that. I mean, especially going through Craigslist, like you mentioned. I mean, I've done that in the past with bands as well, either having people not show up or the kind of people that, just talking to them for a few minutes. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be a right fit for this band for one reason or another. And, it's great that you were able to find musicians that were either friends of yours from previous projects or finding brand new people and, just sharing that form vision of what Magic Dance could be.
Yeah, I think we went through a couple tryouts of drummers, just some guys. Yeah, it was relatively painless. And the drummer we have now actually showed up in a T-shirt of an obscure AOR band called Icon, which I'm a huge fan of, which was kind of funny. I didn't even know we had that. But yeah, it seemed like a perfect fit, so it was awesome.
Yeah, that's a great sign when someone can wear an Icon shirt like that, and just being able to back up the playing that they can do as well. And
totally. It was the whole package.
Oh, that's so cool. But yeah, again, just getting back into New Eyes and everything. I mean, it's so great to see an album like this in 2018, and just hearing in your voice how happy you are about the way everything's going with Magic Dance. I mean, it's so great to see with this album, just finding the right group of guys to be able to flush out this vision that you have, being able to start playing live shows, already looking into the future of like being able to like future shows around the world, and then working on the next album as well. I mean, I'm glad to see everything going in the right direction.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm really happy with where we are right now, and there seems to be some positive momentum going, and we just have to keep it up and not rest on our laurels or anything like that, and just keep working hard, and I think it'll continue to pay off, or hopefully. I hope it will.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with that, I think that's a fantastic spot to end on. Thank you very much for taking all this time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on in the world of Magic Dance, and including the brand new album New Eyes, which is coming out December 7th through Frontiers Music. I absolutely love this album from start to finish. It just captures so much of what I love about that 80s feel, but you're also able to incorporate your own style into it as well, and just make it sound so fresh, so unique, and so creative as well, and just being able to hear all these different aspects, and it was great to be able to get your insight into everything.
Really appreciate it, and thanks for having me, Joss.
Oh, not a problem. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Not really. I think, well, the record will be released December 7th. I think I should maybe mention, and then you can just follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and check us out, or if you haven't heard of us, give us a shot, and hope you like us.